What could possibly make Jungkook, known as the most composed and resilient member of BTS, appear shaken and nearly speechless as he left the military hospital? That question is now the center of public attention after shocking news emerged from a South Korean military base, where Jimin, fellow group member and Jungkook's closest friend, was reported to be in serious medical condition and receiving intensive treatment. Initial reports indicated that Jimin, who is currently fulfilling his mandatory military service under a special training unit, was rushed to the hospital after suffering a sudden health complication. Internal military sources stated that Jimin's condition deteriorated rapidly, allegedly due to acute fatigue compounded by intense physical and mental pressure over the past several weeks. Preliminary medical evaluations revealed symptoms of severe muscle spasms, mild respiratory issues, and a drastic drop in blood pressure. Though no underlying chronic illness had been recorded, the medical team took no chances and immediately administered intensive care. However, it was not only Jimin's medical condition that stunned the public. The emotional reaction from Jungkook upon seeing Jimin in the hospital room became an emotional centerpiece that shook fans around the globe. Jungkook, who is also currently serving in a different military unit, reportedly made a special urgent request to his superior to visit Jimin as soon as he heard the news. The request was granted, and within just a few hours, Jungkook was seen entering the military hospital complex under limited escort. According to eyewitness reports from the hospital area, Jungkook appeared deeply shocked and emotional upon seeing Jimin lying weak with medical equipment attached to his body. An unnamed source stated that Jungkook stood in silence for several minutes, seemingly unable to believe what he was witnessing. He held Jimin's hand, whispered softly, and refused to leave the room even after the designated visitation time had ended. Many fans expressed their sadness over Jimin's condition, especially after reports surfaced that Jungkook left the hospital with swollen eyes and a solemn expression. Without offering any comment to the waiting press outside, HYB Labels, the agency representing BTS, released an official statement confirming that Jimin's condition was being treated by the military medical team and under close observation. However, the statement did not provide any specifics regarding the exact cause of Jimin's health issue, leading to widespread speculation. Some began to question whether the pressure of military service placed on high-profile idols like BTS members was too intense, even for someone as strong as Jimin. Observers of South Korea's entertainment and military sectors also weighed in. They noted that despite strict protocols within the military, the physical and psychological condition of mandatory service members must still be closely monitored, particularly when the individual is a public figure under extraordinary expectations and scrutiny. In this context, Jimin may have been facing dual pressures, enduring military training like any other soldier, while also upholding the image and responsibility that come with being part of BTS. Many also highlighted the significance of Jungkook's role in this critical moment. In a rigid and hierarchical military system, the presence of someone emotionally close like Jungkook is seen as a significant positive psychological factor. Having a friend at one's side during a health crisis can contribute greatly to recovery, medically and emotionally. As so far, there has been no confirmation on when Jimin might be discharged or return to his military duties. Medical staff are continuing to monitor his recovery closely. Meanwhile, neither military authorities nor HYB have given the media any direct access to Jimin, indicating that his condition is still not considered fully stable. One undeniable truth, however, is the massive emotional impact this incident has had, not just on Jungkook, but on the entire fan community. Millions of armies who have followed BTS's journey from the beginning now feel a deep sense of worry and heartbreak. They don't just see Jimin as an idol, but as a human being battling intense challenges behind the scenes. This incident serves as a sobering reminder that behind the glitz of the stage and camera lights, idols face real, human struggles, even within the demanding environment of military service. Jungkook's sincere act of being by Jimin's side during this critical time reveals an extraordinary level of friendship and solidarity, showing that their bond transcends fame and professionalism. Now, the world can only hope for Jimin's full recovery and safe return to health. Until then, fans everywhere continue to watch, wait for good news, and remember one heart-wrenching moment. When Jungkook stood beside his weakened friend, in a silence filled with meaning, and millions of armies cried with them. However, behind the sea of sympathy and the tears of millions of armies, one question cannot simply be ignored. Did all of this truly happen? Or is this merely a narrative carefully constructed to stir public emotion and create temporary chaos on social media? We live in an age where information moves faster than our own reasoning. In mere seconds, a 15-second TikTok video can massively shift public perception. A hoarse voice clip of Jungkook, a photo of Jimin lying in a hospital bed, and screenshots from fan accounts expressing panic. All of these form a bigger picture that appears real. But have we actually verified the source? Is the video authentic? Is the photo not manipulated? Are those accounts credible or just playing with public emotions for engagement? It must be emphasized that the information we present in this report is drawn from a variety of platforms, including TikTok, YouTube, Twitter X, and several online forums and communities. However, we must stress that most of this information has not yet been directly verified by independent journalistic institutions or by official parties such as HYBE or the South Korean military. In other words, readers and viewers are currently absorbing a narrative built on fragments of speculation, not confirmation. This is where the importance of being reflective and skeptical comes in. Have we as the public been critical enough in responding to this flow of information? Are we aware that there is a strong possibility this incident has been exaggerated, or even manipulated by certain parties wanting to exploit fan emotions for particular agendas? Or have we been so immersed in the emotional narrative that we've forgotten to demand evidence and clarity? In this context, we must ask, why has there been no official documentation from HYB showing Jimin's medical condition? Or why has there been no visual statement from Jungkook or the military itself? Or why is all the information coming from anonymous accounts or internal sources that cannot be verified? These questions are not meant to doubt Jimin's suffering or Jungkook's sincerity, but to maintain the integrity of public reasoning when facing a sea of sensationalist information. We must be brave enough to admit that not everything that touches our hearts is truth. Not everything that goes viral is fact. And not everything that makes us cry has truly happened. If this is reality, then the public deserves accurate, transparent, and trustworthy information. But if this is merely a narrative construct manipulated to draw attention, then we have all become victims of an irresponsible information system. In both of these scenarios, we still carry one important responsibility: to think critically, wisely, and not hastily spread information that hasn't been clearly verified. Now we return this question to you. Do you believe that Jimin is truly in a medical emergency as portrayed? Or do you see inconsistencies in the storyline that has spread so widely? Is it possible that this is part of a clever, or even manipulative media strategy to evoke public sympathy? Or are we all truly witnessing a heartbreaking event that hasn't been fully disclosed to the public in order to protect the BTS members' privacy? We do not conclude. We only present and invite all of you to think. In today's digital age, the ability to question is more important than the speed of sharing. And a healthy sense of skepticism is the only shield that can protect us from false narratives wrapped in emotion. Thank you for reading with full attention. Stay clear-minded,